It's my pleasure this morning, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome our Deputy Premier and Minister for Education, Jeremy Rockliff, and on behalf of the Australian Primary Principals Association Minister and as President of the Tasmanian Principals Association, it really is a great pleasure to welcome you to the stage, and we're looking forward to hearing your take on the heart of leadership.
Well, thank you very much, Malcolm. It's indeed a great pleasure to be here. It's indeed a great honour to be Minister for Education and Training in Tasmania. Everyone's been patting Malcolm on the back this morning, saying, "Great night last night, Malcolm," and no one can stop talking about last night, so I'm not sure what went on, but I know you've had an exciting week, and the video display upon my arrival certainly demonstrated the enthusiasm of which you all participated, so that's just tremendous. And can I acknowledge also our interstate and of course international guests, particularly the Kiwis. I'm half a Kiwi myself, so it looks like it's going to be a very exciting time next May and June for you. Can I say that no doubt, as you all experienced this week, the conference provided such an important opportunity for you all to explore the many dimensions of leadership, and I appreciate the invitation just to say a few words today. Can I acknowledge, of course, Dennis Yarrington, the President of the Australian Primary Principals Association, Rob Nairn, the President of the Australian Secondary Principals Association, Gabrielle Lee, the President of the Australian Government Primary Principals Association, Sectoral and State and Territory Association presidents, but welcome all, and those from interstate, international, of course, within Tasmania, and I've already seen and said hello to the principal that leads the school, my local school, where my three little girls go to, so that's great. I hope that beyond this conference there will be opportunities to, of course, experience the hospitality, and I'm sure you've already experienced it this week, that Tasmania has to offer. We're very proud of our state. We believe we punch well above our weight, particularly, I have to say, in many aspects of education, and we're very proud of that. And that's due to the very good, strong teacher quality, in fact, in school leadership and the principals we have, but also we have beautiful offerings in Tasmania, and we hope that you spend a few days with us and explore what we have. But no doubt all week you've been exploring what is at the heart of leadership, and it provides a valuable thematic focus, of course, for this conference. It is with immense respect that I acknowledge the challenges our school leaders face, and I appreciate the essential leadership commitment that is required to improve and enhance academic, cultural, physical, social and emotional outcomes for all our students, wherever we are located. There's no doubt that keeping pace with 21st century ways of learning, keeping pace with a rapid rate of advances in technology amid a very challenging financial climate, I have to say, which presents its own set of challenges, makes commitment to raising educational outcomes all the more critical. The role of a school principal is a role that carries great responsibility and great expectations, and this role certainly requires great heart. For, no matter the challenges, we all recognise that building within our children a bright and optimistic approach to future possibilities is about students engaging effectively with their learning. School leaders must lead and steer their schools in ways that strengthen and increase capacity to continually adapt to meet not only the challenges of their particular school context, but also to meet community, departmental, state, national and international needs and increasing expectations. In this, effective leadership approaches to the early years of education are absolutely critical. What is in place from the moment a child enters the school doors, in effect, provides the foundations and platforms from which a student launches on their educational journey. For every child, these early years mark a most important transition. Each child's teaching and learning opportunities up until this point have depended, in the main, on parents and family and the support of networks provided to them. The schooling journey they embark upon is strengthened when effective relationships are forged between teacher and student, and by building effective relationships and partnerships between home and school. Effective communication and connectedness supports positive school experiences, but now, of course, and into the future. The role, therefore, of school leadership is of paramount importance. Positive, effective and optimistic leadership is crucial for all our schools. School improvement is about getting to the heart of school and student needs. It is not about sugarcoating the challenges either. It is about finding ways forward that are research and evidence-based and well-planned. And to this end, as principals and school leaders, the ability to lead, inspire and motivate and grow all schools and staff and students is of more critical importance. Strong, effective, flexible, responsive, visionary and strategic leadership is imperative within our schools, and indeed I see such attributes along with a fervent commitment to lifelong learning at the heart of good school leadership. As school leaders, wherever you come from, be that from Tasmania, across Australia, internationally, you bring with you understandings and a key awareness of your own education context, along with its strengths and no doubt considerable challenges. For Tasmania, and for a number of years now, we've been told that just over 50% of Tasmanian students progress from Year 8 to Year 12, compared with the national progression rate of about 70%. This fact in itself warrants an uproar in our communities. We know there is a close correlation between health outcomes and educational attainment, for example. If we saw the same health risk from asbestos, smoking or road conditions, local communities would react accordingly. Of course, we are all committed, this government is committed to building the expectation that every child in Tasmania will complete Year 12 or the equivalent in vocational education and training. The social benefits identified amongst those attaining higher education levels include improved health, lower illness rates, reduced infant mortality, and higher incomes. Those leaving school before the age of 16 are more at risk of mental health problems, obesity, and excessive alcohol consumption. Whilst it is clear that Tasmanian education does face many challenges, this state government, and indeed I know all of us together, does not accept that Tasmania will be forever shaped by its current context. We are optimistic about our future, and we are stepping up to meet our obligation to our young people and future generations. We have a long-term plan for education in Tasmania, and I've made a very strong commitment to that, to create a job-ready generation for Tasmania. In Tasmania, we want everyone to recognise that education is our business, and together that we educate. It's been great discussion over the course of the last 12 to 18 months within our state about the importance of education and valuing education. And it's most important, from my point of view, that we have very strong bipartisan or tripartisan approach to education in Tasmania, where we can all agree on a key set of principles to guide education, so we can take the argy-bargy out of the politics of education and work together to achieve positive outcomes for the number one reason we are all in this room, and that is for our students. We recognise that no longer can one organisation, one person or one service provider be responsible for improving Tasmania's educational achievements. We are living in an age where issues faced by families and students and their school communities are often incredibly complex and require multiple services, of course, strategies, and most importantly, strong leadership. A collaborative, collective approach that strengthens opportunities to provide comprehensive educational services that meet the individual needs of students and the contextual needs of a school community has never been more important. We're all committed and believe passionately that every child deserves to be educated and have access to quality, inclusive education, and none of us will be shirking our responsibility to this generation and indeed future generations of Tasmanians. We're committed to investing in education and recognise that our biggest resource is already here in front of me right now, and of course that's our people. And this brings me back to this, the Heart of Leadership Conference. Leadership is crucial to ensuring education maintains a strong focus on meeting the needs of all students, and that well-informed strategic planning ensures continuous improvement. In this, all of us here would recognise that teacher quality is the single most important in-school factor influencing student achievement. We recognise also that strong educational leadership is paramount in building that teacher quality. Engagement, retention and attainment results from the efforts we make at all levels of a child's education. Every school staff member plays such an essential role in ensuring schools operate to maximum capacity. From the facility attendants, our front office staff, support staff, our teacher assistants, through to the teachers on the ground, each of these roles is so crucially important. A whole of school commitment to ensuring our schools, our teachers and support staff are operating at the highest level and are supported in their undertakings is directly linked to both day-to-day leadership responsibilities as well as big picture strategic planning. In closing, I wish you all the very best of experience and opportunities that this conference has provided and no doubt will continue to provide, to increase understandings of the complexities and the dimensions of leadership such as ethics, leadership for equity, along with the exploration of leadership characteristics and practices. And I wish each of you every success in providing leadership that builds solid educational foundations, positive educational experiences for all children in ways that promote and instill optimism, instill self-belief, and ultimately encourage and secure participation, engagement, achievement, and attainment. I thank you all for the work that you do as individuals across schools in Tasmania, interstate, nationally, and of course internationally. One of the great privileges it's been for me is having been Minister for Education over the course of the last 18 months, which has gone very quickly. Notwithstanding the fact that I have a mother-in-law that's a teacher and a sister that's an early childhood teacher, visiting schools myself gives me a great insight, firstly to the many challenges that present school leaders in communities right across this state, but the wonderful work and the very hard work that you do for the benefit of the kids, of course, their families, the communities, and our state. And no state is any different, and no one is any less committed to furthering educational outcomes than any of you. So it's my great pleasure to have been given the opportunity to say a few words. I know you've been through some exciting times in the last week. It's great to see and hear such great feedback about Tasmania's hospitality and, of course, the local organisers, which I commend for bringing you all together. Best wishes to you all as you go about the very good work that you do in schools and elsewhere, and for the conference next year. Thank you so much.